All right, so the new unit, what we're going to look at the top, just make sure the essential question matches up. This is going to be page 4. So page 1, table of contents. Page 2 is the front of the word bank. Page 3 is the anticipation guide, and this is page 4. All right, so we're going to go to the anticipation guide, which should be pink. Second side on page 3. You're going to answer on the right-hand side. Vibrations within the earth that cause earthquakes are called radio waves. True or false? The epicenter is the location of where the earthquakes happen. True or false? Remember, if you don't know it, it's okay. We're going to learn about it. All right, so first off, we have earthquakes. So these are vibrations or seismic waves within the earth, which causes earthquakes. The seismic waves. All right. Movement within the crust causes rocks to bend and break or move, and this is due to stress, resulting in the vibrations, and these cause earthquakes. All right, so where do they occur? Typically, earthquakes occur along plate boundaries where two chunks of lithosphere scrape together. The focus part of the earthquake is the location where the energy is released. This is underground. This is below the surface. The epicenter, however, that is found at the location on the Earth's surface directly above the focus. So here's an example. Here's the focus. It's down in the Earth. That's where all the seismic waves go off. That's where that snap has happened. The focus, that's where that earthquake happened. And right directly above it on the surface, that's the epicenter. That's where we try and find where the most damage is. All right, so what causes earthquakes? So we got a couple things that cause earthquakes. First, movement along the faults. That results in friction, which the force is fighting the movement is broken. So the force fighting movement is broken, which means it's if one side's going like pushing this way, the other side's pushing this way, eventually it's going to snap. And when it snaps, that force is broken. It's released. All that energy is released. It's got to go somewhere. It causes earthquakes. Movement of magma. So if we looked a couple pages back, you saw the inside of the earth, right? You start with the inner core, then you have the outer core, and then that big chunk, that big orange chunk, was the mantle. And right around the mantle, you have movement of magma, because what's under the crust? It's molten magma. We're a big ball of magma floating on a little dried up crust or solidified crust on the top, right? Okay, so the third thing is volcanic eruption. So if you've ever seen any of the movies, you'll notice typically when there's a volcanic eruption, there is an earthquake. And yeah, that does force movement because it's throwing up a whole bunch of magma. All right, so there are 3 types of faults. Faults, that's what we were talking about before. What are they? They are cracks or weak points of the crust along which the rocks slide. There's movement. And stress is the type of force that is being put on there. All right, so we got a couple different stresses and a couple different faults. All right, so a normal fault, where this part is going down and this part is going up. So it's going like this. It's kind of like splitting apart, right? A normal fault caused by tension stress, which is a stretching or pulling force resulting in a vertical change. You're going to pull across. You're going to pull it apart almost, right? And then you've got a reverse fault where one side's going down and the other side's going up. This is caused by compression. It's pushing against each other. There's a couple things that can happen with this, which causes a vertical change. So one where you have an upwelling or a mountain forming or a volcano forming, depending on where you are on Earth's surface. All right, and then we have this strike slip. Now there's a very famous one in Los Angeles. A strike slip fault are caused by shear force. It's a side slipping of one slab past another slab, resulting in a horizontal change. That's the side-to-side motion. And the one that is most famous is the San Andreas Fault in California. It is a side-to-side motion, and it's not nice and neat and even lines. No, the rocks aren't like that. They're jagged, so they get caught, and then they pop, and that pop forms the earthquake, right? So here's a little fun fact. Epi is a prefix occurring in loan words from Greek, where it means upon, like upon the surface, or on the surface, or over where it happened, near to the source, at the point where it started, before, after. So epi, when we say epicenter, it's above the focus. Make sure you know the difference between the focus, where it happens underground, and the epicenter, which is on top. All right, so quiz time. If you could get out a loose leaf piece of paper and write the earthquake and fault quiz 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So what kind of fault results in a horizontal shift? Is it a strike shift, strike slip, normal, reverse, or compression? What type of stress force causes a strike slip fault? Is it compression, tension, shear, or reverse? A tension force resulting in a vertical change results in what type of fault? Is it a strike slip, a normal, reverse, or compression? Earthquakes are caused by all of the following except what? Movement along the faults, movement of magma, volcanic, tsunamis, or volcanic eruptions. Faults are what? Cracks along which rocks slide, the force causing the crust to move, the stress force causing plates to move, Earth's movement either vertically or horizontally. All right, let's go back to 1. What kind of fault results in horizontal shift? This one is going to be a strike slip. Well, what type of force causes a strike slip? It's going to be shear. A tension force results in a vertical change resulting in which type of fault? It's going to be normal. Earthquakes are caused all by the following except what? This is going to be tsunamis. Tsunamis are actually caused by earthquakes. They don't cause earthquakes, they are caused by earthquakes. All right, and the answer to this one, faults are cracks along which rocks slide. All right, now that we're done with this, please flip back to the anticipation guide, page 3, in the pink. And we're going to answer 1. You're going to answer true, false, and then explain. So vibrations within the Earth that cause earthquakes are called radio waves. No, those are things you hear. The things that cause earthquakes are called seismic waves. They cause earthquakes. The epicenter is the location where the earthquake happened. False. That's focus. The focus where it happens, the epicenter is directly above on the surface. Remember, you can pause anytime you need. Okay, summary. There are 3 things, 3 to 5 sentences. Let's get this done. So how does stress in the crust change Earth's surface? Stress in the crust results in the movement of the crusts. Where are the faults usually found? Faults are found typically along the plate boundaries. Why do they form? Because there's a weakness or a crack in between the plates. It's where they touch. It's where they move. All right, so this is the end of the notes. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I hope you guys have a great day.